All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name's Ryan. It's my neighbor here, Bud. And we're talking a little bit about the water problem here in Cowarts. And it's been going on for a while. The water's been kind of muddy and murky looking. Looks like it could have like maybe some rust or like sand or something in it. I'm not quite sure. I don't think the water really would be safe to drink. What do you think, Bud? Would you drink it?
No, I don't drink it. We don't even want to cook with it.
Yeah, it's not safe to drink or cook with. And used to, Bud was telling me here they'd flush the lines out. How often did they flush the lines out?
Well, the mayor, when we moved here, we've had three mayors. This is the third mayor. But the first mayor, when we first moved here, there was a fire hydrant at the end of the covert here. And they would come down at least every 2 months and flush the pipes out. Well, they did this. I think Steele was the maybe Steele was the mayor, and then my third cousin was the mayor, and they would flush it out. Matter of fact, they gave the man, when I first moved here down below me here, permission to flush it every so often.
Now, when you say flush it out, what is the process to flushing it out?
They would open the valve up back down there and
this is on the fire hydrant, correct?
The fire hydrant, and let it run for about an hour.
Gotcha.
And flush all the silt and rust and look like pea water and whatever. They'd flush it out and then you could use it. But now they don't do it since the mayor we have now. They won't let nobody touch it. And a time or two I've called up there, the woman that would answer the phone in the past years would always said I was the only one complaining. Well, I talked to my neighbor next door, and he said he fixed his with a filter. I've talked to other neighbors, and they said they just don't drink the water. They had to buy bottled water. And so his situation is at the end of the covert, the water line ends, and the water drains to the end, and it gets filthy. And like I say, when you try to, or ask them to come and flush it out, they may or may not. And the last time here the other day, they said it was bad. And matter of fact, I took a bottle of water and I put it on the line, the YouTube, and I cured it up there, and they said, well, everybody's water was like that now. They said they had tested all the fire hydrants. Well, and the woman that was up there said hers across the highway, or main highway over there, said hers was like that. Well, thing is, I wonder, would they drink this? Did they wash their dishes with it? Did they cook with this kind of water? And it's been going on for years, and well, ever since I've lived down here. And I've been living here now 20 some odd years.
Do you think that because we're on the lower side of the land that we're getting the worst of the water?
Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah, like I say, it ends down here, the fire hydrant.
So flushing that water out with the fire hydrant is essential to keeping this water clean?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I think we should go down there and show and see if that fire hydrant is still there.
It's gone.
Well, let's go take a look where the fire hydrant used to be, Bud, if you have a second.
Yeah.
We're going to walk down here and see where that fire hydrant was and see if we can show what happened.
Man, it's cool out here. Looks good.
That it is, Bud. It's a beautiful day.
Show the hydrant back up.
Okay, so down here, if you'll look, Bud, would you point at it for us where that hydrant would be?
That's the fire hydrant.
Okay.
And the last time they came down and flushed it, they flushed the one on the end, and they had to go up here and opened this, and this has been a few months ago.
Okay, so I'd be standing about where that fire hydrant would be. It's right here on the right of way.
It's on the right of way of the city.
And you'll see about right there. That's where that fire hydrant is. Right there where I'm pointing on the screen. That is the fire hydrant. So we're right here, right off the right of way. That's where it's supposed to be. Your water lines on the ground running right here.
There's something else too. When they flushed this one, they had to go open that one, and it ran for 30 to 40 minutes or so before it cleared up in it all.
Okay.
It was so filthy.
Well, we're gonna go down here now to where the incident took place, and we'll talk a little bit about that. So basically, there was a school bus that would come down here to pick up the kids at the end of the block, and then they would have to back up and turn around. Well, when they backed up here, I guess they backed over the curb and took the fire hydrant out. So we're going to show you what they did here with the fire hydrant. Basically, there was some damage done to this lady's car right over here. It's going to be, let's see, right there on the video. Her car was hit by the bus, and it sustained a little bit of damage. But right down here, but if you'll walk over there by that pole there and show them which one.
I'm gonna walk over there, that dog.
Yeah, I got you. But right here, basically, the bus backed into the road, hopped the curb here, and took the fire hydrant out. And that fire hydrant would have been right here.
It was right in here, I believe.
On this pole right here. They basically took the fire hydrant completely out and filled it in with tar and concrete. And that's what we have now is a pole instead of a place to drain the water out. Also, these houses here that got reduction for their insurance for having a hydrant here in this area, they're gonna suffer on insurance costs because we don't have a hydrant down here to supply to these houses. So that's what we're talking about here this morning. One of the issues here, and my neighbor, you want to comment on it? Maybe a little bit what you saw?
Well, my biggest concern is just the fact that we don't have a fire hydrant down here. Because the next fire hydrant is what?
200
Yes,
yards.
Several yards away from multiple houses. That it would be a devastation if the fire department had to hose water all the way down to this end if one of our houses caught on fire.
Correct.
Can I ask you too, Gene? You have a filter.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have a filter.
Yeah, we got a water filter.
So if you didn't have the filter, you couldn't drink the water, could you?
Not wholly. There have been a couple times where we've had nasty looking water, but it hasn't really been that bad. But sometimes it does get through even the water filter.
Yeah. Something else too, Ryan. They left that hole there.
Yeah, the hole's wide open.
And kids play here all the time, basketball, or they did, basketball, They moved it.
Let's take a look at this hole here real quick. Easy, buddy, easy.
If somebody steps in it, look there.
All right, look, she's stepping in this hole right now. See how far down that goes? The city just left this hole here. She has children. There's other children that play down here at the end of the block. If somebody stepped in that, could break an ankle easily. They just left the cover off, didn't bother to fill that in. They don't care. So that's what we're down here talking about here today. And we're hoping that maybe somebody can see this and address this issue here and get us something done.
Did you say they put up these poles to keep the bus from hitting it? But they still removed it. Why did they remove it?
Right.
Well, the poles have been there since I've lived here.
Is that? I didn't realize that.
They've been here since I've lived here. I've wondered why, and I think it was because of the fire hydrant, but I guess maybe somewhere in there they ended up taking the fire hydrant.
Yeah, but that's what I'm
the only
saying.
thing I remember is the poles.
They had these, but
So-
why would they take the fire hydrant?
I don't know.
Well, the fire hydrant was right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where it was at. So, all right. Well, that's all we wanted to talk about here today on it. We just wanted to make sure that this gets some coverage and gets addressed. Thank you for being on the video. Thank you, Bud. Appreciate it.